Don't fade me, bro. This is the WeWin Sports Podcast.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the WeWin Sports Podcast, Super Bowl edition. In fact, Woodley and I are both in New Orleans. Last night, I had jambalaya and gumbo while listening to live music, like jazz, blues type music. It was nice. I posted a video on my social media. The best place to be is at the Super Bowl itself. In this case, New Orleans. Second best is Las Vegas. That's where you'll find Charles Barkley and a lot of celebrities go. The third best place is Phoenix, Arizona, because you can watch the Phoenix Open golf tourney and then watch a Super Bowl at like a private party. We find Cantu is in the third best place to watch Super Bowl. Phoenix, Arizona, although it sounds like Cantu is on the 16th hole watching girls, not the golf tourney. I don't blame him.
Yeah, the 16th hole, you know, a lot of business guys. The girls are on the 18th hole, Phil. I'd have to move my way that way. Yeah.
Today we'll give our 30-second rants, discuss last week's games, and then, 2 weeks ago games, and then we'll give our Super Bowl picks and bets. David Woodley's basically a professional sports bettor with great knowledge, sharp takes. My guy Cantu has some well-thought-out takes, and he has been on fire the last few weeks. Mike the Mouth knows sports and studies the NFL at least 30 hours per week. Danny, top of the show, please post our top 8 Super Bowl bets from last week. Along those lines, I want to say that I loved Barkley, under 116.5 yards rushing. Mikey hates it. We bet $1,000 on that. It's a good thing I locked in at 116.5.
We did. I didn't bet. I love the under 116. We bet under. I got under fucking the quarterback 29.5 yards for 1,000 with you.
Thanks, Mike, for the correction. All right, Today we're going to give 8 more bets, but let's start with the David Woodley rant. Go, Woodley.
Yeah, my rant is, they gave the NFL awards out last night. Phil doesn't think O'Connell should have got it, but he should have, right? I mean, they were projected to win 6 games. They won 14. A lot of the voters even admitted they voted before week 18, which is kind of stupid, right? Which actually probably saved Josh Allen's ass too, if you think about it. But my rant is, I think for the first time they showed who the 50 voters are for MVP, and I don't want to call out any specific names, but there are some ridiculous names on there. Like they have someone from Outkick, they have someone from FanDuel TV, like the 30.
You got to call out the names, Woodley.
And my rant is, I have the wrong list now. I have the list of the actual voters themselves.
Okay, go ahead.
But like Dan Orlovsky, like all that guy does is hot sports opinions. Kay Adams, it's great, but she's too friendly with all the players. There's just so much conflict of interest there. I'm asking, where is our vote? Right? We're the most objective podcast in the world on this. We need a vote. See, we could actually, you just give us a vote. We would argue about it for a week and give us a vote for it. Right? We would have gotten Josh Allen. We probably would have gotten Kevin O'Connell. I think where the debate would have been would be comeback play of the year, where my boy Sam Darnold frankly got robbed because Burrow, what did he come back from? Like 5 missed games? That's part one of the rant. The other part rant is New Orleans is a great place for the Super Bowl, but New Orleans has to build more hotels. Like me and Phil are in the worst possible scenarios ever for at least my hotel room, my Airbnb. I'm spending way too much money for it. The Wi-Fi doesn't work. There's no fucking blinds anywhere. It's not the best area. Like, come on, New Orleans. Like, put up a few more hotels for us, all right?
I don't want to complain about my room, but it's not the best. I'm not going to mention any names. Mikey, let's come to you for your rant.
I lost 85,000 playing poker last night. I'm not happy.
That is brutal.
I fucking tried to shoot myself, but I don't have a gun. Other than that, I'm doing good. Move on to Cantu.
Wow, hard to follow that one up. Good Lord. My rant today, I'm going to go NBA, the Luka trade. I haven't been able to even think much about football this week. This trade has got me so incensed. That the NBA would even allow it. I think it's just absolutely nutty. B, there has to be an investigation into you only called one team. I mean, when you're trading arguably, for sure top 3, maybe the most valuable person in the league, there has to be an investigation. I saw Herolibus put out that for an NBA player on a team, he's a once in 100-year player. And you traded away a once in 100-year player for a 31, like a 31 and a half, almost 32-year-old aging superstar that I call the Tin Man. He can't stay healthy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in one first round pick. Nobody does. It's kind of beaten like a dead horse, but it's just,
I think it's
really
the greatest trade ever. As a diehard Laker fan.
For who, Mike?
For the Lakers. I'm a Laker fan.
Mike said that Dallas won the trade. He was on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
I think Dallas won the trade for this year. I think Dallas is going to be. I think they're the second best team in the West. We'll find out.
They went from 15 to 1, from 15 to 1 to 40 to 1 to win the championship after the trade, and Mike thinks it helped him. It takes a long time to gel a team. It's just not a few months and ready to go. He wasn't like the missing piece. It might be a set. I actually think for this year it's a lose-lose trade.
And they didn't make any more trades.
So
At least the Lakers made trades.
So I happen to be in the the Warriors shirted poker tournament, which means I have the microphone for 6 hours straight. And Draymond and Day-Day's like, hey, I'm going to win this tournament. He was into the tournament. Everybody was excited. And the trade comes across the wire. I saw LeBron James texted Day-Day. I don't want to say what he said, but and so I'm watching all of these, and all of a sudden everybody's just talking about this trade, the world's worst trade. A lot of energy comes out of the room for the poker tournament, although the energy came back when our guy Alan Keating won it. One note, Harelbus, who's basically a really good poker player, who was kind of the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, the unofficial GM, and we all know him to be a super genius, especially in the NBA. He said it was the worst trade in the history of the NBA. And Harelbus is just a really sharp guy. So I believe that what he said is true. Now, Woodley, let's get a sponsor read in if you're ready.
Have you ever had your debit card declined at the worst possible moment? Or maybe your PayPal gets frozen. It happens to us. And suddenly you're out of options to rebuy at a casino? Well, today's sponsor has your back. EdgeBoost is the first ever dedicated bank account for bettors and gamblers. That's right. 100% approval rate for sports betting, daily fantasy sports, casino, and even sweeps. But here's where it gets even better. With the EdgeBoost Visa debit card, you can move up to $250K a day and earn cash back on every deposit. You get up to 0.5% cash back on every deposit and every withdrawal from your sportsbook. EdgeBoost also isn't just about liquidity. It's a smart financial platform for bettors with tools to help you budget and play responsibly. It's a no-brainer. Start earning today at edgeboost.bet. That's edgeboost.bet. And you can also find the links in all of our socials as well. And thanks again to them for sponsoring the show.
Nice.
Okay, Cantu, if you're ready to go, I'm gonna go to you first for your NFL Super Bet of the Week. Now, you posted 2 last week. They've already been shown, so this is like our 3rd one. So, start fresh, and we'll debate whether we like it or not.
All right, so I'm going to put out some Super Bowl props for you guys, and I want to note to the audience, the Super Bowl is kind of a fun time where there's such cute bets out there that you can find a lot of stuff. Just they're just kind of really funny that you don't see any other time but the Super Bowl. So I'm just going to put I like to make 10 or 20 really fun bets, and if they hit, they hit. Like little long shots, I like to say. So the first one I like is a field goal in every quarter, plus 600. I like that. I think it's kind of a fun one. I think I can see that happening. I think there's going to be a lot of points. Somebody gets stopped. There you go, field goals. I just think it's a fun little bet. What do you guys think?
I love that because the defenses are so good. Woodley?
It's funny. I actually was watching another show and they were talking about this. I think the odds are right. I mean, it's worth a sprinkle. I think Philly's going to be kicking field goals when they get stopped, and I think that the Chiefs aren't. I mean, I think the Chiefs are just playing with the mindset that they're playing for 4 downs. Anytime they even sniff the 50, they're going to be running the first 3 downs like they have that 4th down. Now, obviously, there will be exceptions, right? Like they're not going to go for on 4th and 8 from the 20 or 4th and 8 from the 12. But I like it, but I do caution it a bit I think this game goes without Kansas City kicking many field goals. And now, of course, what's going to happen on Sunday is Butker is going to have 6 field goals and be the first kicker to ever hit Super Bowl MVP. But no,
Woodley,
I like it.
I'm confused. You said you liked it? You like it? Okay.
I don't like it.
I think Philly. I like it because I think Elliott kicks a lot of field goals. Like the way I don't
think Kansas City gets over 17 points. So, what is there any props on that? What can we get? What kind of plus can we get? The Kansas City under 17.5 points.
Well, you could do your research, but I'll do it for you here in a minute.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I was too busy losing all my money.
Fair. We'll give you a freebie on this one, Mike.
My sister was watching the show, and she said, my least favorite part of the show was when Mike Matusow came in and said, "Oh, I didn't do any research, and I don't, and then she's like, "Why am I even watching this show?" And so I think we lost 10,000 customers the minute you said that. Why are we watching the show? So I know you've been really great for the podcast, Mike. Thank you for that.
That's what my job is to do, right?
It's plus 300.
But then
Mike.
what I would say, Mike. But then what I would say is, I like the fact that you're very knowledgeable.
Does anybody want to bet me that? Under 17.5.
Well, Woodley's looking up the number, Mike.
Plus 300.
But can you comment?
It's plus
Mike,
300.
Can you just comment on on Cantu's bet? Yay or nay? 6-1 field goal every quarter.
I don't like it. I think there's going to be
okay. So the three of us love that one. Okay, now Woodley, if you're ready, I'm going to come to you for your number one bet.
My number one bet this week is Mahomes 25 plus passing yards each quarter for minus 130. You might be able to find it a little bit better elsewhere, but that's at DraftKings. But 25 plus passing yards each quarter for minus 130. It feels good. We talked about it last week. Philly has like a really good run defense. KC's going to be airing it out a bit, and 25 yards isn't a whole lot. And I think the KC defense is playing well enough where,
You do know that Philly has the number one pass defense too, right?
Yeah, but I think
Okay.
So I think they're gonna. I think the Chiefs are gonna. Yeah, but the Chiefs have Mahomes, right? And on the run side they have Hunt and Pacheco. Okay, so like they're gonna be throwing the ball, Mike. I think.
They got
Mahomes should be able to pick them apart.
They got Worthy and Hollywood Brown and Phil Hellmuth and
you just leave it there.
And Brandon Cantu to throw
your neighbor. She put it on our door.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Sorry about that.
You're welcome.
Who was that? Who was that? Woodley? I need to know.
Woodley's getting a food order delivered. Doesn't have the presence of mind to say, "Can you go to Mike or Phil next?" Just talks right through his food being delivered. That's Woodley. Just out of curiosity, Woodley. As long as you're going to be stupid, tell us what you ordered.
Well, I ordered a bunch of waters, some Gatorades, a couple coffees, stuff for the Airbnb for the weekend.
The necessities. Those are the necessities.
Yes, the necessities. Yes.
And you're going to the game?
Yes.
How much does that cost you?
Oh, good question.
It wasn't bad. It was $7,000 all in because I didn't have to pay any fees. And it's we're in the second, like the 200 level.
It was $9,000 to get anything in Vegas last year. That's why I didn't go.
Mike,
are you going to the game, Phil?
Yeah, I'm bringing. Promote. I'm bringing a bunch of Bet Rivers people. 7 of our VIPs are going to go with me to the game. We got really good
that's
seats.
Gonna be fun.
I'm meeting the VIPs for dinner tomorrow at 5:30 Saturday night, and it's going to be kind of I think it's going to be fun. Now, Mikey, do you? Let's go to you. First of all, did Woodley give us a bet?
What was the bet? I forgot.
Mahomes 25 plus passing yards each quarter.
Okay, I don't like it because there's going to be a lot of long drives. So that's why I don't like it. You're going to see some of these, like Philly might hold the ball for 10 minutes on one drive. So I don't love this. Mike, you don't like it because of their Philly's pass defense?
No, not the pass defense. I think a lot of it has to do with what you just said. Let's just say if the Eagles get the ball first, right, and Barkley's able to establish a run and get like 30 yards on the first drive. If I think Barkley, even though I do like it under the 116.5, I do think in the first drive they're going to try and get a sustained 6-7 minute drive. And Kansas City knows that the only way to beat Philly is probably going to be to get the run game going. Mahomes will get his yards, but every quarter it's tough. I mean,
let me make some sense of all this. I love it. Absolutely love it, Woodley. I think this is going to be a shootout. Mike, is this, they've got a good defense. I don't give a shit what kind of defense the Eagles have. the Chiefs have Patty Mahomes. Mike forgets that. I've told him that you can just take the money. This is
Okay,
going to
let
be
me
the
ask you this.
easiest. Hold on, let me finish. This is going to be the easiest win, and it's going to. When I say easy, they're going to win in a nail biter. They're going to win by 1, 2, or 3. That's why I say only Chiefs money line. I do not want that 1 point.
Okay.
They're good, but they're going to win. And Mike, you could just got to learn to just watch Mahomes.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Who had the 2 best offenses in the NFL this year? Would you agree? Cincinnati and the Ravens? Would you guys both agree?
Yes, I like
Detroit.
That,
I would put Detroit.
Oh, and Detroit.
I would say Detroit.
Okay, and Detroit.
No, I would honestly put Detroit number 1.
Number 1, okay.
Cincy, I don't think was, because again, since he was trailing all those games, like so much garbage time.
No, they didn't.
Okay, we'll give
whatever.
Okay,
well,
Woodley, we want to concede the point and move on quickly.
Okay, let's
Mike,
just say
we agree. We agree that they're top 10.
Okay,
they're top 5.
Well, Philadelphia went on the road in Cincinnati and held them to 17 first half points and 0 in the second half, beat them 37-17 on the road. They then went into the Ravens, and they're the only. They are the only team the Ravens played this year where they held that offense of the Ravens to 15 points at home. Now, you're trying to tell me this dog shit Kansas City offense that was dog shit all year is now going to be the greatest offense, better than the Ravens, better than fucking Cincinnati, and it's going to be a quote-unquote shootout.
Yes,
good luck, buddy.
Because the Chiefs were trying, and they're going to put up the. I actually think they're going to put up the highest point total they. Put
they
up
weren't. They weren't trying all year. Okay,
they weren't.
Yeah, they didn't score 30 once all year. Okay, got it. And the only one they scored 30.
How about this? They did last week.
Yeah, I guess.
We don't count that. Why would we count
you do
last week?
Understand the Bills' pass defense was dog shit all year, and they lost their best cornerback 5 minutes into the game.
Hey, what I think we should do for this, let's do some rapid fire, because I have some fun ones I kind of want to bring up on some props. It's up to you guys, though. What do you think?
Well, let me finish the first round, since Mike. Yeah. Let me do mine, and then Mike, do you have a prop that you like, Mike, or no?
Yeah,
you just want to piggyback on one of mine.
No, I'm going to take Kansas City under 17.5 plus 3-1 for whatever you want.
Okay, I like that. But I'm not going to bet it because it's Patty fucking Mahomes, Mike. Woodley.
I did the Mahomes one. I did the 25 a quarter.
So I know, but you're against Mike. Mike just offered a bet.
Oh no, of course I'm against them. Of course I'm against them. Yeah, they're gonna score. He's gonna put up points. I mean, he's good for at least 24. Easy, like no doubt in my mind.
Sure.
Cantu?
How many games they score over 24 this year? Like 4?
It's the worst prop I could ever imagine taking. I couldn't hate anything more. I think they're about to have the highest scoring total against Mike's so-called number 1 defense, in years. So
yeah,
I hate it.
Mike, we all hate your bet, but rather than discuss this for a long time, let's just move on.
The game opened 49. It's 48.5. The game opened 1, got bet to 2. It's back to 1.
Half a point.
All the money's coming in on the Eagles because everybody's stupid.
Mike, if it was all the money,
the line's already moved. The line moved to 1. It's already moved to 1. Okay.
Okay, guys. Listen, let me just
pick them. Yeah.
Let me just say one thing, guys. Okay, you're gonna like this, I think.
All the squares like the over in Kansas City. Go ahead,
Mike. Do you want to continue talking, or can I talk? Okay, so a lot of people have this thing called TDS, right? Trump derangement system
syndrome. Yeah.
Syndrome. Mike has CDS, Chiefs derangement syndrome. He lost $50,000 betting against them in the last 4 years. Does not believe in them. Then when we say you hate the Chiefs, he says, "Oh no, I like the Chiefs, but they're going to lose." He's been saying, "But they're going to lose for it's $50,000." He lost
since week 7. Since week 7 on this podcast. Who have I told you is the best team in the NFL? Why would I change now?
This is playoff Chiefs, Mike. They do not care about the regular season.
Yeah.
17-3.
They played great the last 2 weeks. The other team gave it away both weeks.
I'm telling you, I want a one-word answer, Woodley, and a one-word answer, Cantu. Does Mike have CDS? Yes or no? Cantu.
Yes. Yes, it's clear.
Woodley, does Mike have CDS?
Yeah, of course.
It's 100%. We all know. Look, Mike's laughing. He knows he has CDS.
Listen,
he knows he lost all his money on these.
Right now, the United States is going through a new disease called EDS, Elon derangement syndrome. That's the new derangement syndrome.
Okay, but let's not get into politics. I'm going to come with my bet, guys. Tell me if you like it or not. Noah Gray over 12.5 yards. That's my number one bet this week. It's my third best prop. Noah Gray over 12.5 yards receiving. Now, I was on a podcast yesterday where they said they like the opposite of that.
Me
But
too.
I just think that Mahomes is so good. He's going to be delivering balls. He's going to, like, if the right people aren't open, he's going to find Noah Gray. And I think Noah Gray's going to have 30 yards. But anyway, I'm betting over 12.5 yards.
Ooh.
All right, let's go to Woodley on that. Mike bets opposite of everything I say, so we'll go to Woodley first.
Me too, Phil.
I'm on the under and everything, so why would I go over?
Noah Gray is interesting because he actually had like a really strong run. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 9 of 11 games. He like from week, it looks like 7 to week 15. Like he actually nailed it. I think like 9 of the 11 times or 8 of 10. So he was nailing it. And then since then he's only hit it once, right? Which was in Houston 3 and 13. But with that being said, I actually like it because I actually like I'm not picking it, but I like the Kelsey over too. I actually think they're gonna be feeding both of those guys down the middle, and I think it hits. I think they both hit their overs, and it can happen in sort of any game scenario. If they're losing at some point by like 7+ in the third or fourth quarter, I think both those guys absolutely smash it because like when
Woodley,
Mahomes is losing, he feeds it to
Woodley?
him. But I love the over, yeah.
Woodley, since you brought the Kelsey one up, tell the folks what the over-under is.
It was.
It looked
Let
like
me see what it is like
or
right
something.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been moving up. I mean, that thing has been steaming up big
Can
time.
we go under 50?
It's
Can we get like 5
well,
to
no,
1?
So Kelsey, you can get 60 plus for minus 122 or 70 plus for 128. I actually kind of like doing the 70 plus for plus 128. I mean, that's that feels pretty good in my eyes.
Okay.
Cool.
So Woodley, you like my pick, and you're also throwing out another pick, Kelsey. Cantu, you want to comment on both?
I don't have much to say on this one. I don't want to act like an expert where I'm not, but I'll go over. I'll agree with you, Phil.
Okay, Mikey.
Well, I'm going to say this once, and I'm going to say it once. There was 38 games played
You just said it twice.
between the Philadelphia and Kansas City this year. 27 unders, 11 overs. Have a good day. I'll take that prop under also.
Okay, I like it. Cantu. So that's my first one. I'm just going to come right with my second one since everybody seems to not be. Well, I know you guys are prepared.
it.
Mikey doesn't know what town he's in. By the way, you're in Las Vegas, Mike, and I don't mind Mikey, I mean, he had a rough night, so we're going to try to be easy on him, even despite calling him out for his CDS. But he liked that. He was laughing. Woodley, well, I'm just going to say, I'm not even sure I like this. So Woodley, I was going to say I like the Hopkins over 13.5, but then I was doing some deep research, and man, there's a bunch of games he's at 0 lately, and I'm starting to wonder about that. So I'm gonna come up to my next prop, but Woodley, I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead. What's your second one?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of long shot ones. So fastest sack in the game, which means like it just exactly like it sounds like. Chris Jones plus 600. I there's not a lot of. I'm sure you can do research on this. My research on this is I watch a lot of Chiefs games. I feel like Chris Jones, especially, he's always good for just like one like insane sack a game where it's just like he blows up the offensive line, and that's because of Spags. Like Spags will get Chris Jones free where he just nails Hurts. It'll be one of those ones where Hurts just kind of goes down and it's a blown up play. So I think 6 to 1 is pretty good, right? And so I like that. And then a super long shot one is 75 to 1. It actually hit last week too. And a lot of people made a lot of money. It's each team to score 1 rushing and 1 passing TD each half. All right, not each quarter, but each half. And I like that because Philadelphia is golden for 1 rushing TD each half, right? They're golden for that. And I think they're going to struggle
Did you just
getting
say
that.
each team each half?
Yeah, but it's 75. It's 70.
So you're saying that that Kansas
75 to
City
1.
against the number 1 defense in the NFL is going to score their second most points this year, and they're going to do it in both halves. Okay.
Well,
I'll
well,
go
Mike,
opposite of that.
It's okay. You want to book me at 75-1, Mike?
Oh,
you wanna book me at
75
that?
to 1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
75
no.
Well, you didn't let him finish. Mike, you got to let
sorry.
him finish. I mean,
That's about the right price.
yeah.
That's
like,
about the right price.
We're doing. He said we're coming with some long shots, and Mike's like, "I'll take it, even money."
No, that's about the right price. 75. I was thinking that's like 100 to 1, but yeah, 75 to 1. That's fine. That's about right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay, I'll pop
Talk
in
about
and then I'm going to pass it off to Cantu here. But I just want to say this. Watching this Kansas City defense, I mean, it's incredible to me to watch the way that Spagnuolo uses the blitz. It's just incredible. Like, they're so good at it. They send, like, everybody, and they know, hey, there's only 2 or 3 possible places where the ball can be passed. And he has to get it off, like, within a second and a half, maybe a second. And so that defense is just such a, when they really need it and they just, like, blitz, you know that ball is going to be, like, going to 1 or 2 or 3 places. And, like, it's kind of usually just 2 places they can go because they have to call in people to handle the blitz. And so it's just fun to me. Like, you need a really great quarterback to be able to deliver that ball accurately within 1 second. And it's really a play. I kind of wonder why don't people blitz more after watching it? And I realize that they just have the great personnel for this. And so to watch these guys, so yeah, I kind of am liking. So I really believe, and so it's just really fun for me to watch. All right, Cantu, help us make sense of Woodley's picks.
I love the 75-1. As I've been saying, I'm in the minority. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it could get real crazy in a back and forth game, and where they're just, the Chiefs aren't going to play this pussy ball. They're going to absolutely, if they get behind, they're going to start slinging it. And even if they're ahead and they feel the Eagles are on their heels, I think there's going to be some fast football. Let's go. I like it.
I mean, I think it should be 1,000 to 1, but 75 to 1 is worth. I'll bet $1 on it.
it hit last week, just FYI. So
Okay,
I know
yeah.
it's not the vaunted Eagles defense.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, Cantu, what's your second prop?
Second prop I like, and this is just a fun one. I like 2 or more successful 2-point conversions. And it's kind of going along with what I just said. I think it's going to be back and forth. You get like a goofy score in the fourth quarter, some touchdowns, and they're playing tag, trying to catch up. Get on a
2 or
goofy score.
more.
It pays 9.5. It's plus 950. Plus 950.
950.
Yeah. I
Does it
think
have
that's
to be
nice.
over 2 or
No, 2 or
2
more.
or over.
2 or more. And I don't. That happens all the time, and especially with the Chiefs and this kind of game and the Eagles. I love
here's the thing. The reason I don't like that bet is last week the Chiefs attempted their first 2-point conversion of the season, and they and completed it. But that
That's
was their
actually a good
first.
stat.
That was their first 2-point conversion attempt of the season, which to me was mind-boggling when I heard that.
That's insane.
So that's the reason why I don't really like that.
It's so
play.
insane that I kind of want to look it up, but I'm
Yeah,
not going
I couldn't
to.
believe it. I couldn't believe it when they
know
said it on the broadcast last week. They're like, "This is the first attempt for a 2-point conversion," and I'm like, "First
I'm
attempt."
sticking with it. I like it. And
So-
here's the thing: it doesn't have to be the Chiefs. It can be the Eagles. It's either side.
Well, yeah, the thing is
9.5
like
to 1 is
9.5 to 1. I mean, they get up there. Sometimes they get a penalty, and it's a tush push for fucking 1.
Yeah, the tush push favors a 9.5 Cantu because there
Yeah.
could be a penalty and they go for it on the tush push. They're going for it 100%.
That's a great call.
if
That's a great
the
call there by
scenario.
Mike. If there's any like offsides on the extra point, they're going to do that. The tush push.
And Casey's really aggressive on the on that as well. I mean, because I think it happened. Did it happen? I think Casey did that versus the Bills, and they stopped him, right? Because they got it like in one of the games last week. That happened. It got to the 1.
Yeah, and they and they moved Allen to the left, and he couldn't even get in.
That's
Yeah,
right. They
it's a
stopped
joke.
him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lay like the, I'm not gonna lay minus 1,500 to bet no on it. So I mean, I'll take it. That's a fun one. That's a
It's
fun
fun.
one.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Like,
That'll be-
I'm not gonna go fucking broke over it. Like I promise you that. Like,
At the other side.
To me,
of
that's
nuts.
well priced. That could go. All right, now listen. I'm gonna. You guys are gonna love this. I have to switch directions just a little bit here because 2 of us love this and 2 of us hate this. And Danny posted this earlier, but I have new information. We're talking about Barkley. It's around 115 right now. I think the current line is. I bet at 116.5. Barkley rushing under 116.5. We're going to say the line's 115, give you guys a little flexibility. And this is the new information that I believe maybe Woodley posted. Chiefs have not allowed a 100-yard rusher in the last 18 postseason games, which favors Mike and I in the last 18 postseason games. Woodley and Cantu, do you still like, this is my number one pick. I'm going backwards a little bit, but we're having a little fun here. Woodley and Cantu, do you still like Barkley over?
I had him under. I took him under.
Over 115.
I took him under last week, though. I had him under, so I still like the under. Like, my whole thing last week was I said I like the under, and I said my only concern there was, like, the Chiefs could bottle him out a ball game, and he could, like, bust an 80-yarder, but I like the under there because I think that Chiefs defense is really good. Mike actually liked the over because, remember, Mike was talking about how Mixon gashed them.
I liked it under. I liked it under, and he's like the over. And I'm going to tell you why I like the under. I really think that the Chiefs, and somebody on my podcast yesterday, the Mouthpiece podcast, brought up this to me, okay? They said, Mike, right? And it makes sense. You guys hear me out for a second. Instead of betting the Eagles, because I said I really like the Eagles, he goes, bet on Hurts at plus 350 to win MVP. And it made a lot of sense because I believe they're going to go all out to stop the run. And that's going to leave Brown, Devontae, Evans, the tight end open, and it's a quarterback-driven award. And if you really think the Eagles are going to win and you think they're going to go all out to stop Barkley, just take plus 350 at Hurts as MVP. So that's kind of my second pick is MVP is Hurts at plus 350. Okay. What do you guys think?
Mike, not only do I like that pick, but I was studying this prop the last few days. Do you know that Patty Mahomes is even money to win Super Bowl MVP? I don't know in history if we've ever seen that. Maybe Tom Brady when they were really explosive, but even money. So I like the 350 there.
I saw plus 120, but yeah.
Plus $1.10, whatever. It's basically even money. Hey, Woodley, what do you make of Mike's pick here?
What was it? He was rambling quite a bit.
He's going with Hurts plus 350 for MVP.
They told me like if you're gonna bet the Eagles, and you think the Barkley is that they're gonna shut him down.
So
you're better off betting
that. I think it's a smart play, but I'm betting. I'm all over the Chiefs, so I'm gonna say I don't like it, but I think it's smart. Like if you think the Eagles are gonna win, I think that's the smart play because I think everybody thinks Barkley will win. But the reality is like quarterbacks win these things like 80% of the time.
Right.
And it's always, I think it's also, if they're going to win, I think it's going to come down to Hurts unless Barkley goes off like 200 yards. I don't see that. I think Hurts is going to have to beat the Chiefs. Hurts is going to have to get the rushing touchdowns. And that's the thing too, is like Barkley has a good amount of touchdowns, but I think there was 7 or 8 times where Barkley got it down within the 2-yard line and Hurts got the touchdown. Right. So like these MVP things, I mean, we saw the jokers that vote for these freaking things these days. Yeah. Like it's all about, they won't even be watching the game. They're gonna be hanging out in their box and they'll be in there with probably Phil and the Bet Rivers VIPs and all this, chucking it up. And then it's gonna be time for them to vote and they're actually gonna look at the field for the first time all game. And they'll be like, oh, Hurts has 2 touchdowns running and 2 touchdowns passing. Lock it in. So I really like that bet, Mike. I think it's very smart.
Yeah.
I'm not but I say no.
I absolutely hate it. I think it's a garbage bet. I think if they're going to win, I think Barkley's going to play too much of a role. I think it's a garbage bet. I don't want it. But I don't think I just don't think that's going to be the way they win it. I think it'll be like defensive touchdowns or something, and then the Eagles get lucky that way. But I just don't like it.
So like if the Eagles win, which I think they're going to, it's going to be a defensive. So a defensive player is going to get MVP. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
No, that's what Cantu. You know why Cantu is saying that? Because his hero
GOP wins. Yes.
GOP wins. Bet at the beginning of it, he bet 400-1 at Circa that Jalen Carter would win Super Bowl MVP, and he took a lot of heat. And Sports Illustrated interviewed him the other day about it, and he's Cantu's hero, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, and he's sick, right? I heard he's sick. He's been sick all week. What do you guys know about that?
Yeah.
Does that mean does he have COVID? Like, does anybody know? Like,
no, I think they said he's not in danger of missing, is what I read, and like, if he's sick this far out, they can get him fluids and stuff. I mean,
you might play limited, but he's for sure playing.
Well, I would say I was reading the same article you guys were reading, and their defensive coordinator came out and said that he's sick right now. And I don't know, I mean, to me, that's also a game theory play. Like sometimes I'm playing somebody heads up for a bracelet and I'm praising them about how great they're playing because generally they are playing great. But, there's a little bit of game theory in that. But yeah, I mean, it also sets up an excuse to lose, which is bad.
He was full participant, though, they said. Full participant, so, I mean,
does it make sense? All right, Mike, does it make sense? Like, if Woodley's right and they give 80% of these awards, MVPs go to court, does it make sense to bet like $1,000 on Mahomes at even money and $1,000 at 3.5 to 1 on Hurts? Does that make sense, Mike?
No, I mean, you think it's, I mean, that's, you're, to me, I think you break even. Well, you're looking at break even or make 2.5 to 1 with no risks. I mean, I just don't. This is a quarterback driven award. I mean, go look at the last 15 Super Bowls.
So, Mike, do you like that better now? 1K on each side or no?
I think you free roll. Yeah, why not?
So you like Woodley?
There's actually, I just had it up. Let me pull it back up. There's actually a whole thing there about you can pick based on picked on the position. I think it was like minus 135 or something. I got to look it back up. Phil, I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I would say I like taking the Chiefs money line, and now it's a pick 'em at a few places. Like you can get them pick 'em, and I'd pick 'em. It's still minus 110 or some case minus 115. I'd rather just take the Chiefs money line and then maybe come back a little bit with Hurts on the other side. Like maybe you do like a full unit on the Chiefs money line, and then maybe like a third of a unit on Hurts. Then you kind of have this interesting sort of hedge thing going on. I don't know. I got to spend more time on it, but I like your thinking there, Phil.
Cantu, the thoughts we're talking about, like I was thinking about betting 1K on Mahomes at even money and then 1K on Hurts at 3.5 to 1. Now, Mikey liked it, and Woodley came back with, hey.
You can't bet Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes, the price just isn't right. So I don't
So you don't like it?
No, you might as well just take the
All right.
Chiefs money line.
All right, coming back to mine, Danny, and I think you can post all 8 of these. I like Mahomes to score the first touchdown at 18 to 1. I got lucky earlier in the year, and I had him at 19 to 1, and I put it up, and I can only bet like $200 on it or something, and I forgot that I bet it, and Mahomes scored the first touchdown. You can look it up, but maybe it was 10 games ago. And he went to the end zone. It took me like 2 minutes to realize, oh my God, I had him at 19 to 1. I just hit because sometimes you don't think of those long shots. But I'll take Mahomes at 18 to 1. I don't think that's worth a lot of discussion because the opinions at 18 to 1. We could just say quickly, Woodley, one word answer. You like it at 18 to 1? Yes or no?
Let me tell you this. I gave it last week, but then he had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. So I actually really love it. And I think you could even hedge it a little bit there, Phil, with doing anytime TD at 3.5 to 1 too. So
anytime TD. I like that.
I gave that one last week, and that was one of my top ones. So of course I love it. I love Mahomes in this game.
Is there a prop out at how many times Mike will be stuck over 80,000 in a poker game? He's never been stuck over 50 in 4 years in the same week.
Mike, I gotta say, you've been in our online game. You've been in our online game, and I'm just going to tell the folks at home, you've won a lot of money. Okay, so, and and all of a sudden now you lost 90,000 and 85,000. Now that 90, you got all the way back to, it was only 17 loser. Then you lost 85. Our friend Ben Jerusalem, who we love, told me that he was texting you nonstop, quit. I have your side of that, though, not Ben's side, because you and I sometimes were in the middle of the battle. We're in the middle of the fight, and we punched our way out so many times.
We're playing
four-handed. We punched our way out so many times.
And I screwed up. We're playing four-handed, and I got tired. My Vyvanse lasts usually 12 hours. I took it at noon, and so I got a little bit tired about 1:30 in the morning. And I remember this guy when he's winning, he doesn't 4-bet light. Like he always has it when he 4-bets. And he 4-bet me to 4,000. We're playing four-handed. and I just jammed 30,000 with queens, and he had aces, and that was on me. That was just a brain fart I had. And
yeah, because the blinds in that game are 10, 20, 40, although it plays bigger. Probably don't have to stick. Mike never sticks in 900 big blinds with queens. That's not his style. Mike usually folds the queens and then shows them aces when they stuck 30,000 with queens.
That was just me getting tired.
Mike. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to Cantu. We're going to the Cantu show right now. Cantu, you're going to rapid fire. But we're only allowed one-word answers. Woodley,
one-word
answers. Did you hear that?
One-word
answers.
Rapid fire. I think there might be, if I'm wrong on the over, this is kind of my hedge of this being this high scoring. I think the Chiefs are going to get stuck with a lot of field goals. I like Harrison Butker, 200-1. You might get 4 or 5 field goals or a game-winning 61-yarder. What do you guys say?
Wait, as the MVP? As the MVP?
MVP, 200-1.
No, absolutely not. But next.
I'm on no on that too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 200-1.
Next one. This one is not out yet, or at least I haven't. It might be somewhere on some site, but I haven't seen it. I do this one every single year. It's National Anthem over. And the reason I always go over, this is whoever's singing the National Anthem, this is the biggest moment of their lives. It's went over like 80% of the time that I've been following this stat. Maybe even a little higher.
I love it.
This, like, do you know what it's worth per second to the person singing the national anthem? It's just too much money.
Listen,
It's too much money.
Whoa. Trump is going to be the first sitting president to go to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be even more patriotic. I love this fucking bet. What's the
That's the first time he's left one of my bets on the Super Bowl.
No, because I know they're good. They're like, even the Chiefs players like that hate Trump were like praising him yesterday for coming. So I think that it's going to be very patriotic.
What do you think, Phil?
Yes.
Well, I can't give a one-word answer. I'm just going to say, because I like what you said, I start to wonder if it's worth $25,000 a second for the person who's singing it, for that global. And then, of course, they have to, like, here's a free 100,000 if you go 4 seconds over what the NFL wants. And they can't stop you. So I like the over. Woodley?
Yeah, it's been steaming over like the last couple weeks. So I still like it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Okay, so we all like that. Cantu.
Next one. First score of the game. First touchdown of the game. Sorry. First touchdown of the game. Chiefs defensive touchdown plus 3,500.
No.
What is it, 35-1? Is that what you said?
35-1. Chiefs defensive touchdown. First touchdown of the game.
I don't like it.
I like it.
No
Yeah.
for Mike.
I like it. It's one of the ones I would play. Yeah.
You guys think this Chiefs defense is so incredible? It's fucking like ranked like 8th or 9th. And the Eagles have the #1 offensive line in all of football and the #1 defense.
Yeah,
So,
but Mike, we're
Merry
betting that
Christmas.
Jalen Hurts throws an interception. There's a pick 6 and one of those blitz plays, right? They send the whole freaking defense. Hurts throws the ball up for Brown. Our guy gets underneath it. You know, for those of us that don't have
He might
Chiefs
throw a
derangement
pick.
syndrome.
But I mean,
And then the guy runs it back.
They're the only team in NFL history to get to the Super Bowl. 10 turnovers. I mean, 10. They've caused 10 turnovers and they've committed 0. I'm going to stick with that. I don't think they turn the ball over.
Okay,
at
I'm
all.
going to give a few rapid fires myself if you guys are ready.
Okay.
Go
Is
ahead.
everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yep. One word answer.
Okay, we're going to start with rushing yards, okay? Pacheco over 22.5. Mike over under 22.5.
Man,
I'll
is he even going to
over.
play?
While he's
Under,
thinking, I'm going
under,
over.
under,
I'm going over.
under.
I mean,
under,
is it
under,
hurt?
under.
Is it what Hunt going to probably get most of the carries because Pacheco's look so bad?
Yeah, he hurts. Hunt's been getting a lot of them. I'm going to say under. Yeah.
Under, yeah, me too.
Okay. We already did Saquon Barkley. Let's do Xavier Worthy. This is an interesting one. I've heard them talk about it on ESPN a little bit. We're talking about Xavier Worthy rushing yards. Remember, he's a wide receiver. Over 6.5 yards. Yay or nay? I say yes,
Over.
I like it.
Over.
Over,
Smash
Woodley?
it. Yeah. Love it.
Over.
Yeah.
Love it.
Over.
They've been doing
Oh,
these
wow.
fucking back flips to him every week for like 10 or 15
I'm betting
yards.
500 right now as we talk.
Is that?
like
I think the national.
Hey, and you guys, I'm under on everything, and that is a stat I like.
Here we go. We're gonna go AJ Brown over 73.5 yards receiving. Mikey.
I love it. Over. He is the key to winning this game.
Woodley.
Under.
God, look at
Cantu.
me. I am just the over king. Mike's the under king. I'm the over king. I'm going over again.
Well, I got to go over on this because I'll tell you what, because I think the Chiefs are going to really focus on stopping the run. I think that's
Yeah.
they just can't let Barkley and they
That's
can't
one
let
of my
Hurts beat
actually
him.
one of my favorite
So
props.
maybe
I
that
really
means
think I think AJ Brown could possibly even win MVP. I really think that he's going to have a big game. That's just my opinion. I like over.
Okay,
Can I
we're
throw
coming
one
back
out
to
there?
Woodley's pick.
Woodley wants to throw something.
Well,
out
let me
there.
just go to this, Woodley. I'm going to go to the Juju Smith-Schuster over 17.5 yards receiving. We know that you like it. I like it also. I looked and he had like 70 yards in one of the last few games. Cantu, Juju Smith-Schuster over 17.5 or under yards receiving.
Over. I think we talked about this one last week. I like the
Yeah,
over,
we
and
did.
I liked Woodley's over 55 too. What was that? $5 or something.
I like
Yeah,
it.
over.
I'm going to find a place where I can. I'm going to find a place where I can ladder this because I love that play, Woodley, but I don't know where I can ladder it. Do you know a place I can ladder it where the
DraftKings.
people at home?
Yeah,
Because you go to
DraftKings.
DraftKings,
DraftKings has it.
you go to DraftKings, you can bet over 17.5, over 27, over 37, over 47, get laid odds the whole way up. Okay, I like this, and maybe it's at my site, Bet Rivers. Mikey, do you like over 17.5 for Juju Smith-Schuster receiving yards? Yes or no?
Under. No.
Okay, and then I'm going to ask two more, Woodley. Saquon Barkley receiving yards over 15.5. Over or under, Mikey?
Who was it you said there, Phil?
I'm going to go under
Barkley.
on that. I'm going to go under on that. Like, I just think that they got too many weapons, and I don't think they're doing any trick plays to Barkley against the Chiefs. I don't see it.
Is it a trick play? I mean, a screen pass. I think the reason I originally said no. I originally thought no, but then I realized screen pass. So I'm going to take the Barkley over 15.5. Woodley?
I'm going to take over because I think they're going to be losing, which I think opens the way up for them.
Yep.
I'm going over.
I'm
I'm the over king. I'm just sticking with the overs.
I'm under on that.
Okay, Woodley, I have one more and then we'll come to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Xavier Worthy over 57.5 yards receiving. Boy, this is a tough number for me. I'm going to kick it to you guys first and I'll come back on the back end. Cantu, Worthy over 57.5 yards receiving.
Over. I'm looking for a nice 800-yard plus game out of this total.
Man, he's the
fucking
fastest
guy.
guy ever, right, Woodley?
Yeah.
He sucks.
This is tough.
Sucks.
Tough.
God, it's tough. I'm
It's a
gonna
tough
say
one, I
under
agree.
because I think Philly like completely focuses on taking him out because he's their one reliable receiver.
Yeah,
I
I
won't
like
bet
under.
that one, but I'll just say over.
I think listen, they got Hollywood Brown involved last week for like the first week. Like he's only been back a couple of weeks, and they really kind of made him the center of the offense. And I think that they're going to do the same this week. I mean,
Dude, no, we went over this last week. Juju, you thought Hollywood had the yards. Juju had 60 yards. Hollywood had like 30 yards.
well, they threw it to him a lot in the first fucking half.
Fair.
Okay. All right, guys. All right. So the Xavier Worthy, like what I'm getting from this group, that's a tough number. Over 57. Wait, I'm going to give us, for the first time in the history of the podcast, we're just going to go officially with a pass on that one. Let's go to Hollywood Brown over 41.5 yards receiving. Mikey.
I think that's really going to be their only. I'm going to go over on this, even though I'm under on everything.
Wow.
I just been thinking about it, like where are they going to get their yards from? They're gonna the best defense in the NFL is going to shut down fucking Kelsey, and Pacheco is he's not a shell of himself off the injury. And I'm like, where are they going to get the yards from? Like Juju or Hollywood or I just think I mean they threw it to him a lot in the first half last week. That's
a strong statement. Our CDS guy, Chiefs Derangement Syndrome, likes Marquise Hollywood Brown over 41.5. I like him over. He's so fast. Although I disagree with you that I really think that Kelsey, who's allowed to operate on his own, I think Kelsey just goes out and he can turn left if he wants, right if he wants. He can go right diagonally, left diagonally.
Isn't
come
he
back.
like? Isn't he like?
I don't
Like,
think
isn't
they're
he
going to
like
shut him
fucking
down.
35 years old? And didn't he have like 17 yards receiving last week? I think.
Hey,
What do you
guys,
have
I
a
to
week
interrupt
before?
you.
110?
I have to interrupt you real quick. I have to go. I have a prior engagement. Somebody gave me a $2,000 ticket on the 16th hole. And I got my Arizona time confused with Pacific. Some months it's Pacific, some it's Mountain. Anyways, I just got to get going.
Contrarian
Okay,
Cantu
Cantu's
adding in.
out. Cantu,
Thanks.
give us the Marquee Brown, Hollywood Brown, over 41.5 or under.
I'm going over. I think everyone's going over. I just want to hit 3/4 of these.
Okay, Woodley, Hollywood Brown, over 41.5.
I'm gonna go under because I have this theory that like Kelsey's gonna have a big game and Noah Gray's gonna have a big game. And I think Juju hits this number even though it's not big, and we're hoping he hits a big one. I think Mahomes in this game is gonna spread it around. I think you're gonna have and I was just trying to find it. I can't find it, but I'm gonna find it. I whatever the number is in number of KC players catching a pass, I'm gonna bet the over because I think you're gonna have 8 guys. I would just count. I think there's gonna be at least 8 Chiefs that catch the ball. And so I think he's going to spread it around quite a bit. And so I kind of like the under on these kind of like Hollywood Brown and these guys. And, going back to it, I almost like your Hopkins one a little bit now too, because I'm like, he's going to get a couple catches too. So
it feels like, he's been a superstar his whole life. He's done really bad the last few games. I looked up the yardage, just really low numbers. But it kind of feels like, have you been a superstar your whole life or not? And if you have been, now's your chance to show up. Mike, you switched the total, which is 48.5. Okay, so you like the under.
I took that last week. Yeah, I took that last week on the show.
Yeah, we're going to give people a little room here. I mean, it has been jumping up and down. You really like the under in this. Woodley, do you like the under? It's 48.5.
No, we like deja vu. I'll just kind of summarize what I said last week too. Is I think it hits the over. I think both teams are good defenses and all that, but I think they're gonna. What I like about the over on this is both teams know how to score in the red zone. Like the Chiefs definitely do with Andy Reid, and Philly. Like if you get them inside the first and goal, like I don't know what the numbers are, but they're scoring there. I mean, it's you have Hurts that can run the ball, you have Barkley that can run the ball. And then you have Goddard and Brown. I mean, they're going to score a lot of points, and it's the score is going to be high, but it's still going to be a good defensive game.
I saw this clip yesterday, and it really made me really be emotional about my pick on this game. Is they look back at the 2015 Super Bowl between Carolina and Denver, and if you remember, Carolina was putting up 30-something every fucking week. But all the sharps were on Denver. They were the number one defense. I don't know if you remember. And they ended up beating Carolina 28-12. And that's kind of where I look at this game. I really believe the Philadelphia defense is that good. I really do. Because I look at all the teams they played, and I just keep comparing it to what they did to the Ravens and Cincinnati on the road. And Kansas City's offense isn't even anywhere near the Ravens or Cincinnati's offense. And so would it shock me at 27-13? Not at all. Not at all. I think I don't think Kansas City scores much. I really like the under 17.5, 3-1. So we'll see. All
right, Mike, we know that you have Chiefs derangement syndrome. We've been talking about this. And when you lost
it's going to be a low-scoring game.
$50,000 betting against them.
This
could be your
the
game,
Chiefs
Mike.
The Chiefs have a great defense, and could they win this game 17-16? Sure. Could they win the game 20-17? Sure. But I just don't see in any stratosphere, I really, really don't, that this game is not a defensive battle. I mean, you have the number one defense, and the Chiefs defense, their run defense since Christmas has been 17th. It was 3rd before Christmas. Yeah. And so... if they don't bottle up that offensive line is so good for the Eagles. Everybody has tried to bottle up Barkley, and nobody's been able to do it. And but for some reason, I think that because the Chiefs' run defense had been so good last year and the year before, and the first half of this year, and in the second half against Buffalo last week, I think that they're going to really, 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 really put a lot of pressure to stop him. And that's going to leave, AJ Brown and Goddard and Devontae Smith open, and but I just don't see the Chiefs, this Chiefs team I just don't see this Chiefs team scoring.
Okay,
like
Mike. Okay, Mike. You said it a number of times. You said it a number of times. Let me just say, it's very interesting, Woodley, because like I'm a little bit worried. It's so, a lot of times my best picks kind of come to me really late. And so last week I passed on whether I said I like the Chiefs, but I kind of passed and I said by this week, yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be like, or maybe Sunday, and I'm going to be like, I'm guessing that suddenly I'm going to like the Chiefs. And I'm just going to tell you, Mike, one thing. All right, so Philadelphia's defense is phenomenal. We agree. So what I've seen and what I've watched is these great defenses coming after Mahomes. And Mahomes does this thing. So they're on top of every quarterback after, say, 2 seconds. Okay. But Mahomes does this weird thing where he's falling down and leading forward and boom, finds Kelsey in the end zone. We remember that play. He does these weird things where all of a sudden he's rolling out to the right. They have 2 people on him and he fakes and all of a sudden, boom, boom, he's by for a 15-yard rush. And so I think that this Philadelphia defense is going to be on Mahomes, but Mahomes is magic. He has this magic about him.
I did
Let me
see
finish,
the stat.
Mike. I believe in magic. You know, I believe in magic. I think I talk about I have magic in poker. I have magic in helping startups. And I'm not, what I'm kind of talking about is seeing things other people don't see and maybe pulling a few things off that other people wouldn't think of pulling off. And I think Mahomes has magic. And so I think now I'm going to commit that I like the Chiefs. I see the number is 1 right now. So I'm going to be betting the Chiefs for my pick number 1. Number 2, the over-under is tough for me. That's a real tough number. I've gone back and forth. I really like the under for a long time. I'm going to pass on that one. And Woodley, we know that Mike likes the Eagles. We know that I like the Chiefs. What say you?
It's, Danny, I'm going to give you that thing I made of Mike. It's like the IQ bell curve, right? And then like both on the low IQ side and the high IQ side, it says just bet Mahomes. And then there's Angry Mike in the middle one where it's like, there's a lot more things than Mahomes, blah, blah. And it's just it's a whole rant.
I saw the stat, which was pretty amazing yesterday, that the Chiefs versus the number 1 pass defense or Mahomes is 3-0 lifetime. Okay. But the rest of the league in the playoffs I'm talking about, and the rest of the league is 16-27. So I saw that. I did see that stat. Okay. But I also know that in the year that Tampa Bay beat them, Tampa Bay had the number 1 defense, I think, and they kind of really fucked them up in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
the
Chiefs' offensive line looked horrendous.
The line was
they
so
were
bad.
I mean, but the Kansas City offensive line isn't that good. Their left tackle is sucks. I mean,
that guard is like one of the best guards. I mean, that guard might be like the number 1 free agent in the NFL this year. No, I like the Chiefs. And listen, these games come down to the quarterback and they come down to the coaching. And I think
that's what scares me. Trust me.
I think the Chiefs have a massive advantage on coaching. Like massive. It's not close. And I think they have a very large advantage at quarterback. And then I think the rest of it, I mean,
do. Even Mike will tell you they have a huge edge.
Listen,
Mike with this Chiefs derangement syndrome will tell you.
The Eagles are better at every other position beside quarterback and coach, but quarterback and coach are
not tight end.
I think Goddard's better.
It's pretty close. I think D-line and here's the thing though, is like
Chris Jones.
The Chiefs can be, as we've seen, the Chiefs can be down 10 points in the fourth quarter and they're still in it. Philly's down 10 points in the fourth quarter and they're technically still in it, but and again, this is a pick 'em game, right? I'm not sitting here talking about a game where it's like the Chiefs are a big favorite, but do you feel good about, Philly being down in the fourth quarter? Like, I don't. I feel fine about KC being down in the fourth quarter.
Here's a question I'll ask you. Who's got all the pressure this weekend? It's all in the Chiefs. Right?
No, I mean, pressure is ridiculous. Well, there's a lot of pressure on the Eagles too.
Not really,
Mike, because there's a ton of pressure on them. You don't want to lose
every talking head on TV thinks Kansas City's going to win. So that's another reason why I like the Eagles.
It's a Super Bowl, Mike. Like Philly knows they don't want to take this for granted. I mean, there's pressure on both teams. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think there's way more on the other team.
Now, Woodley, you and I are heading to I'm not happy about this, but Caesars here in New Orleans, they shut down their poker room. You were staying over there last night, and they shut their poker room down. Is that right?
It's been shut down for a while.
No, it's been they opened it. They shut it down this week for the Super Bowl to put like more.
Oh, in New Orleans. I thought you
more
talking about here.
yeah, they shut it down this week to put like a few more blackjack tables and stuff. And I was actually very angry about that because I was like, I get that, yeah, like price per hour, like a blackjack table makes more money, but it's like it's Caesars, like they're gonna be fine. Like think of like I don't know, like think of like everyone and things like that. So it was very frustrating, honestly. It was very
See, it's
disappointing.
all about poker, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean
they
they
got the
housed
World Series of
WSOP.
poker.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
World
yeah,
Series of
and-
poker room. I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's,
At that casino, Woodley, at that very casino, I hosted Celebrity Poker Showdown in 2005, a long time ago. I'm a little disappointed. Now, you and I, though, we have a private game that we might be both attending. I think I'm going to go. You and I are probably going to head over there soon. And it's 25-25 pot limit Omaha with a $100 ante. And then Nick Wright, who I really like a lot. I think Nick Wright's a great guy. I've hung out with him a bunch. You know, he's live an hour, 2 hours a day on Fox, and he's supposed to meet us over there to play a little
He's got
poker.
Chiefs derangement syndrome. Like he
No, he's a big
doesn't
Chiefs
think
fan.
they can ever. He doesn't think they can ever lose.
Well, they are 17-3
He is the
with
opposite of
Mahomes
what
in
you
the
have,
playoffs.
Mike.
Yeah, he has
Mike
a brain.
has Chiefs derangement syndrome, like, and then whatever the opposite that is Nick Wright, and Nick Wright has
Listen,
been right a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, listen, I mean, I know you want to say they could turn it on and off whenever they want, but if you really, in all reality, okay, if your eye test, if you watched every game for every week of the year, your eye test told you that the Ravens and the Eagles were the two best teams. I mean, that's what your eye test told you. Okay,
Not the Ravens.
No.
Not the
Okay.
Ravens.
Well, the Ravens, like they kept self-imploding.
My eye test
okay?
told me Detroit was the best team.
Well, no, until the injuries. I'm talking about
Until
once
they
their
lost
defense
half
got
their
all
defense.
the injuries. You're right. I'm talking about like healthy. Like my eye test every week told me, and I said it since week 7, that the Eagles are the best team and it ain't even close, right? And every week, like they would need a miracle to win, just like every week they just need a miracle to win. And I just don't. I think the miracles are going to run out.
Wasn't the Chiefs? Woodley, I don't quite remember this, but weren't the Chiefs 15-1 heading into that last game?
Yeah, I mean, they win.
And Mike
it's the
says
NFL.
Mike says
Like,
they
it's
weren't the
just-
best team.
Just win, baby. I forget who said it, like Al
Mike
Davis.
has major CDS.
Yeah, I mean, he brings us up, and like they were 15-1, and Mahomes is 17-3.
Josh
in the
Allen
playoffs.
probably played one of his worst games 2 weeks ago.
He played
and they-
incredible.
Really?
He played incredible.
He did. Did you watch
by
the
the
first
way,
drive?
this
Did
is-
you watch the
I
first drive of
told-
the game where he literally should have thrown 3 interceptions, but they dropped it? Right? Did you watch him in the?
Did you
in the
see
fucking,
the numbers on what he did, Mike?
Yeah, he was.
Did
good
you see
in
the numbers?
Yeah, but what? It's like
He had
Nick
one
Wright
bad
said.
drive?
Here, you want to talk about what your Nick Wright said? When the money was on the fucking line with 3:33 to go in the game and 2 timeouts, and you could milk the clock and win yourself into the Super Bowl. What did he do? He was fucking terrible pass on the first fucking.
Well, according to you,
play.
they got the first down twice, Mike. So I don't
No,
know.
the guy,
Like, you
he
gotta,
ran
like,
for the first.
You got to pick your poison.
He
You gotta pick
ran
your
for the
poison on
first
this
down
one.
on 3rd down after 2 ridiculous running plays with a backup fucking running back. Then on the fucking second drive, he threw it over the middle. He overthrew him, and then he threw another one where ass fuck Romo was sitting there saying, "Oh, he was trying to throw it away." He almost threw an interception, and Romo's like, "Oh, he was throwing it away over the middle." Right? That was a terrible throw. Right? And then look what happened. He
They keep
misread.
winning.
You know, so I'm just saying, you know,
He's 17-3 in the playoffs, Mike, and you can sit there and say he's lucky. He's lucky. My thing is, I'll continue to pick the Chiefs until, like, could they lose? Absolutely. But it's like the same people, the same idiots that went against Brady every fucking year, right? Like, yeah, he lost,
Yeah.
he lost to Foles, he lost
all
to
I
Eli
know
a
is
couple times.
all the public and all the squares are on the Chiefs, and the line's going the other way. I like betting.
Mike,
where the
Mike,
sharp-
and all these sharps.
I lost
28
money.
games
Mike,
under 500.
Mike, I knew. I talked to Jed York, and I talked to some other people that live within the NFL, and they told me how bad the Patriots teams were outside of Brady. So I was one of those idiots that basically ended up losing some money betting against Brady. And what a mistake that was.
But the thing is the Patriots had a top 3 defense
because of the
every
rest
year.
of the team. Just your exact thinking. But now I'm betting on Magic. Mahomes has it. The Chiefs are going to win. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this up.
It's Saquon Barkley's birthday on Sunday, so I'm a little bit worried about that under 115. I mean,
Mike, let me tell a story for the podcast, right?
Yeah, I thought you guys would
make
like
this
that
up,
one.
folks. So I thought it would be really nice to I started making a lot of money, and so I said, hey, I'm going to bring 3 friends, including Ted Forrest and Mike the Mouth Matusow, to the national championship game. Where? In New Orleans. LSU versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma had Jason White. I invited Mike to the game. In the stadium, we were sitting with the fans, with the parents and the family of Oklahoma. I wrote about this. I've talked about this. It's a true story. I got a phone call from the best sports bettor in the world that they're hammering LSU. So we all switched our bets because the best sports bettor in the world told us to switch. I bet $5,000. For me, that was a lot. Mike had $20,000 on the game. And he's like, I'm not switching sides.
25.
It's destiny. 25,000. I'm not switching sides. It's destiny.
Well, because we got the seats right before the game, right at midfield. And I'm like, I couldn't root against all these Oklahoma people.
I was out there with the ticket scalpers trying to buy tickets. Luckily, I got a phone call from a friend, and Mike's like, it's destiny. And so Mike stayed on Oklahoma. LSU smoked them. They won by like 40 points. And there, you can't make this up. Mike was screaming the entire time, Jason White sucks. And I'm like, what is he doing? Like, I wouldn't let Mike sit next to me because I thought somebody from the Oklahoma families was going to beat us up. Mike, after that game ended, okay, I sat in my seats. I was scared to leave. I waited till the stands cleared because I thought somebody was going to punch Mike, and I didn't want to have to defend him.
Why would they punch me? Yeah, I was voting for Oklahoma in the Oklahoma section.
Yeah, you were screaming obscenities at the Oklahoma players about how they suck.
I was like, White, you piece of shit, fucking. What's the award they win? What's the college award? Heisman Award. You piece of shit Heisman Trophy winner. You fucking every Heisman Trophy winner lays a fucking egg. You motherfucker.
The family, I could see them cringing. Not only are they getting beat, but they got this guy screaming about their team sucks. The most miserable experience I've ever had at a football game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, all the sharps are on the Eagles. Are you going to switch your pick? You're going to call Billy Baxter. He's going to tell you to take the Eagles. You're going to switch your pick.
No, but see, last year, Mike, I had $10,000 on the Chiefs. Okay, but I was rooting for the Niners. I really wanted the Niners to win.
The Niners were the sharp money last year. The Niners were the sharp money last year.
I know, but since I already had my money on the Chiefs because of bets with you, if the Chiefs won, you owed me $10,000. So I just sat there rooting for the Niners, but feeling like, because my heart and soul's with the Packers and the Niners and Jed York and their organization. Woodley, we have some pretty good sponsors now. And are you going to tell us about EdgeBoost?
Thanks to EdgeBoost for hosting this again. Get on there, edgeboost.bet, check it out. Get your money in before the Super Bowl, and let it go. Get some cash back, and if you're on the wrong side like Mike is on all these bets, at least you can get some of your cash back for him. So thanks again to EdgeBoost and everyone that supports the show. As Phil mentioned, we will be back. We may take a week off, but we'll be back soon, with the Super Bowl wrap up, and March Madness is coming and the NFL draft's coming. I mean, it never ends. So thanks to everybody that's been along here.